Good morning, everyone. It is 11 minutes past 9 o'clock right now. Welcome back to the program. And of course, I think everybody does realize you need to pay attention a little more than normal today because kids back to school today, Jackie.
Absolutely. So let's think of different aspects. We've been talking about safety, maybe things to eat, you know, as we're trying to becoming busier individuals once again, but also busy in the fact that maybe kids are going back into athletics, sports, maybe we're getting done with fair and everything else and realizing we need to hop back in the gym. And that means there might be some sore muscles that pop up as well. So Sheree Clark with Fork in the Road, you're here to kind of give us some ways to do and take care of ourselves in a healthy manner when we're thinking of things like this.
A little guidance as we change up what we do. And anytime there's a change in seasons or a change in our activity level, we're at risk of soreness and from abusing our bodies, let's face it. So let's talk about how we can prevent that and then what to do if we find out we've overdone it and we didn't, our prevention wasn't successful.
Okay.
So I would not be living up to my responsibilities if I didn't remind you that the first and most important thing that you need to do is take care of your body in a holistic way all year round, and that includes eating well. So I brought you little snacks, mostly because I know you pay more attention to me when I feed you.
Yes, we do.
Yes, exactly.
Smart lady, smart
so
lady.
we're not going to do recipes today, but I'm going to remind you that fruits and vegetables, we talk a lot about protein when we're talking about muscle and recovery and athletic performance, but that doesn't mean it should be at the expense of our vegetables and fruit consumption. So I brought you some good raw vegetables. It's still that time of year when we can be having all of that good stuff and it's really cheap. So let's eat it up while we can. Let's wear our white while we can. Let's get all that stuff in before Labor Day. So you've got some guacamole and some good veggies there.
Nice. So it's easy to still do that fresh produce
so
with Farmers
good.
Market, even one happening later on tonight. So if your kids are coming home from school, feed them a healthy snack or even yourself if you need one throughout the day. And this is a great example of some wonderful veggies with very easy homemade guac that
and things you can do on the run, because what happens is that this time of year we start thinking drive-through. We start thinking fast.
Busy.
Right, exactly. So don't let that go by the wayside. Jackie, we're going to talk a little bit about prevention and what to do beforehand with you.
Okay.
So on your far right, there's a bottle of water. Again, that is reminder, stay hydrated, and we cannot overstate that. This time of year in particular, it's still hot out, and we're upping our exercise, so that is so important. So another piece of that would be in the bottle, the salts. Salts are something that we often will want to take before exercise, and those are in capsule form. There's magnesium and potassium in there.
Okay, so this is not just salt.
Correct, right. There's Himalayan salt in there to help retain the water, but there's magnesium and potassium for muscle recovery, muscle relaxation, and those kinds of things. I find those to be extremely helpful if you take them before you do something like, let's say you've been out of the yoga studio for a while. You're going to go back, you're going to do some stretching. That will help you not get that pain, and it really does work.
Wow.
The jar, the taller, the silver container there, the plant-based energy focus, that would be something that you would take before a workout. That actually has a little caffeine in it. Now, some people are anti-caffeine before exercise. I'm not one of them. I think that caffeine can be beneficial. I'm not talking about getting wired on 4 Red Bulls.
Right.
I'm talking about a little bit of a boost of caffeine, particularly if you're doing something cardio, can be beneficial. That's a really nice product for you.
And as you said, plant-based, so there's probably not a lot of chemicals that we don't understand or don't know what they mean.
Exactly, and it's suitable for vegans. So vegans, vegetarians, and then in the packet would be the protein powder. That would be something that you would be interested in doing afterwards. So that would be after, when you're talking about recovery, when you're talking about protein, and maybe you don't want to eat. I know I don't. After I exercise, I'm not
Especially
hungry.
if it's vigorous exercise.
Exactly. But you know that protein's good for muscle recovery, so you might want to do something along those lines. Now let's talk about what we might do if we find that we have overexerted. So I've got a couple of different products, but one of the things I also want to talk about, in addition to products that we could use, would be things that we can do to manipulate the body. So let's talk about things like acupuncture and reflexology, massage, those types of things. Let's don't forget the professionals in our world that can help us with that. That's really good stuff. And I don't know about you, Jackie, but if somebody's telling me I got to have a massage, I'm going to say, yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't argue with that.
There's
Definitely.
health benefits to it, right?
There are health benefits. Another thing that we can do, we've all seen the foam rollers.
Yes.
I have a great foam roller that you're going to really like. Lou, I'm going to hand that to you and ask you to push the button on the top.
Oh, there you go.
And so and there's 3 speeds. So if you do it again, it's a little faster, and one more time, it's faster than that, and then you turn it off with one more. Yes.
I know what speed you're going to put it on.
I love that thing. It is really. I have a hip issue sometimes.
Will work on your neck.
And it could work on your neck. Yeah, there you go. I think you might need a hand, somebody else to help you with that.
That is really neat. That is very powerful too, Jackie.
It is.
Well, we've learned the importance of rollers when we've been to the gym before, but it's obviously increasing its importance if you add a little massage in there.
It does. It stimulates the recovery. It moves the muscles and the fascia, and
this would be great for your back.
Oh, it's so good for your back. Just lay it on the floor and put it on your lower back, and just kind of.
Right.
Oh yeah, my kitty cat Lotus, when he hears that thing come over, he comes over it because it shakes the floor, and he really likes that. So, let's talk then about topical types of things. So this might be something that we would want to use. I love arnica. I've talked about it before. It's really great. This is one of the brands that I particularly like. It's a homeopathic remedy. Arnica is a plant. It's really good not just for muscles that are sore, but also if you have bruising. Sometimes we're at the gym, we might drop a weight on our foot. If you got a black and blue, it will help take it away. Arnica can also be taken internally. These are Arnica, this is Arnica Montana 30X, that's the dosage of it. Somebody at the health food store can tell you which dosage you're going to want to take, but this is really good. You put it under the tongue, couple these two together, it works from the inside out.
And where does arnica come from? Like, why is that such a good
plant.
thing? It is a plant.
It's a plant. And is there anything similar to it, or is it a very unique plant by itself?
I think it's a unique plant by itself. It's not something that I would necessarily. You can use it's used sometimes in combination with other things. In fact,
is it like an aloe vera type plant, or is it a flowery plant? Or
Lou, now you're getting out of my realm of consciousness.
Okay, I'm just curious about it because it has magical powers to it.
It does, but I know that it's not like an aloe vera. That's a tropical plant that's kind of gelatinous. And I know that it's more of a flowery plant. So So
So you answered the question.
There you go. I just needed a second.
Gotta work through it.
Other types of things that we can take. This one is another one that I really like. Zyflamend, and this has got a bunch of different herbs and things in it. I take it a couple times a day. It says to take it 2 capsules once a day. When I am in pain, or if I know I'm going to be doing something that could cause pain, I'll take it in the morning and in the evening. That's a really nice one. Then this one, Muscle Ease, you're going to really like. Once again, these types of items, take before, take after. This one I really like to take after. This one's an enzyme. And enzymes, as we know, if we take on an empty stomach, they'll help us break down food. The enzymes help break down things like scar tissue and muscle lactic acid and those types of things. And then finally, I like the travel sizes of things because we have all these things at home. And then if you want to have one in your purse, put one in the gym. Don't forget, you've got to plan for these things. When you hurt, it's kind of late to be going to the store.
See, then you're going to the wherever your favorite health food area is and trying to find it, right?
And they may be out because everybody else went back to the gym today too.
And you kind of go back to an important point. If you're already feeling thirsty, you're already a little bit late. Like, you want to stay on top of things, stay hydrated, stay on top of a couple of things that maybe your kids or you need to check into to make sure they're just feeling good as we're going back into a new routine once again, going into the school season.
All right, I want to ask you about farmers market since we have you here.
Yes.
And we're winding down and we're getting on to the end of the season now. When you go to farmers markets now, what type of things are you looking for in particular?
Well, tomatoes are hot right now. The tomatoes are in season. Corn is still abundant. Cucumbers are cheaper, but they're also getting smaller. Zucchini is the size of baseball bats. So, and then the greens aren't quite there right now because it's been a little bit warm, but they're coming back. So things like spinach and kale, when the weather gets cooler, those are cool weather crops. So so a lot of things make a return. Radishes, which we saw in the spring, you got me going now. I'm not going to stop.
That's fine.
Okay.
No, okay.
So radishes we had in the spring, they're coming back in the fall, the second crop of them. So it's not over yet, people.
Okay.
Yeah. See me down there.
All right. Still some fun things to be had. Or if people want to reach out to you now because they have some questions, what's the best way to do so?
So drop me an email at info@fork-road.com or visit my website at www.fork-road.com. farmers-road.com. I want to know what you're going to buy at Farmers Market. I want to know what you use for your sore muscles, and what are you doing to work out this season? Because I'm looking to mix it up myself.
All right.
There you go.
Get some advice from the viewers at the same time. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
9:22,
And I got a snack.
and we'll be right back. We're going to nibble on these.